near a major city or a coast, but we're doing it anyways. So even if we're not in New York City. Bridge versus tunnel. On the side of bridge, very first time doing this show. I'm very excited to see this. I have absolutely no idea what to expect. Please put your hands together for Gumfrey, everybody. Gumfrey. Oh, good God. Pleasure meeting you, Gumfrey. On the side of tunnel, this guy, he's visited us all the way from Los Angeles, California. He has a great podcast called People We Know, which is available on iTunes. Put your hands together for my good friend, Andy Sell. Looking like one of the village people this evening. All right. Going first on the side of bridge, Gumfrey.
Hello, my name is Gumfrey, but you can call me Old Gumph, or you can call me Uncle Gumfrey, just as long as you don't call me Susan. That was my ex-wife's name. But truly I prefer Uncle Gumfrey, because I've always wanted nieces and nephews, and I've never had any. So we're a big happy family here. So now, I've been accused of being many things: a troll, a goblin, a gremlin, an ambiguously gendered gypsy lady man, and a sexual deviant. And I'm here to tell you that only half of those accusations are true. But regardless of the rumors you may have heard about old Uncle Gumfrey, all that matters is that I'm just a regular man like you or him or her. And I've been living under bridges for over 57 years. Currently, I'm living under the Cherry Creek Bridge, so I'm doing pretty goddamn well. I'm actually holding an after party after this debacle. So I stole some furniture from the Aurora campus. Leather. Now, your old Uncle Gumfrey gets asked a lot of questions, like, why do you live under bridges? And why do you eat so many squirrels? And why don't your glasses have any lenses? And why are you missing half of your toenails? And honestly, I never really had any answers for those questions. But ever since old Kevin O'Brien let me do this debate after I threatened him at knife point by the neck, I've gotten to the bottom of the mysteries. Now, granted, I can't answer a lot of those silly questions, but I sure as hell can tell your candy ass why bridges are better than tunnels. Now, first I need to tell you about my dark and woeful history with tunnels. First of all, the tunnel of love. The tunnel of love. More like the tunnel of sexual assault charges, if you ask old Uncle Gumfrey. Now, why would they call it the tunnel of love if it wasn't acceptable for a stranger to swim up to your boat and pull your boyfriend off the boat and give you a smooch? Now, that was a very long time ago, back in '62. But I'll tell you what, sexual assault charges stick with you. They're almost as bad as student loans. Now, I'm not allowed into the tunnel of love, or any tunnel for that matter. But that's just fine by me. I don't need tunnels. Not only do I owe them thousands of dollars and countless of years of jail time for my sexual assault charges, I have many more reasons to resent tunnels. For you see, both my wife, Susan, and my son both lost their lives to tunnels. For you see, I'm sorry. I'm getting very emotional. I can't cry, otherwise I'll pass out because I'm so dehydrated. It all happened in '88, about 37 years ago. My son, Gumphrey McGee Jr., and I got in a heated debate. And at the time, we were living in the Smoky Hill Road Bridge in Aurora. After I brought back 2 well-fed squirrels for dinner, my son told me that he hated me, that I wasn't his real father, that I had kidnapped him, and to please let him go home for the love of God. And so I let him go, but I told him, once you go, you're dead to me. Once you live under a bridge, that's the only way to live. That was a rhyme. And so I watched him pack up his satchel and gunny sack and walk around the corner of the bridge. And just to spite me, he walked through the nearest tunnel to get to Denver. And sure enough, the moment he set foot in that tunnel, he got hit by a semi-truck head on, just like my wife, who I hit with a semi-truck head on. And I hit him with a semi-truck dead on, just to teach him a lesson about tunnels.
All right, first things first here, that was kind of disturbing. I don't feel like, all due respect, Mr. Gumphrey, but I don't feel like what you had to say had anything to do with tunnel problems. Seems more like you were under some emotional distress there. Let me get this out of the way. My name is not Andy Sell. I'm Andy's good friend. He called me up because he said he needed to debate about tunnels versus bridges. So he called me up because I'm an expert. By the way, my name is Maury Malowski. I am a mole. Not the double agent, but the mammal that digs tunnels. You know, we got a pretty good thing going on down there under the ground. It's pretty great, very blue collar, you know. We dig our holes, we punch in, we punch out, go home, maybe service the wife a little bit. Have some dinner, pass out to some 2.5 men. You know what I mean? It's a pretty good life. But some of you in the audience might be saying to yourself, hey, you don't look like any mole I ever seen. Well, not all of us look the same, you racist prick. Not all moles look alike, okay? So, just hold to that for a second. Listen to what I got to say to you. I'm an expert at digging tunnels, and I know, maybe you're holding out for some qualifications. I can understand that. You don't want to jump into the stereotypes saying, okay, all moles are good at digging tunnels. I get it. That's like saying, hey, all Asian guys know Kung Fu. You don't want to do that. I respect that. But, hey, let me tell you, I am a 3-time foreman. I am the former president of the local 227 of the Tunnelers Union. That's the UTRW. That's the United Tunneling Rodents of the World. It's a pretty big union. I was chapter president. I went 3 years running to the, if I don't know what I'm talking about, then why did my company send me 3 years running the Tunnelers Convention? You know what I'm saying? Las Vegas, Nevada, Albuquerque, New Mexico, okay? And then there was the one in Boston. That one went a little rough. We had a couple drinks, and then I didn't get to go next year because, Molowitz gets to go because he's the boss's nephew. That fucking son of a bitch. It's whatever. I had a rough year that year anyway. My wife wasn't happy with me. I was going through some problems with my dad, The old man, my son, my oldest, 15, changed his name to Thelonious Orchid, started listening to that vampire music. I don't understand him anymore, That's the Christmas he asked me, Maury Malowski, he asked me, his old man, his pops. He said, hey, pops, can I get a Erector set for Christmas? Yeah, an Erector set no son of mine is building. We're diggers in this family. We don't build for nothing. It's fine, no. Oh, yeah, I want to talk about bridges and tunnels a little bit, I guess. So some points about bridges. All right, first off, I want to get this out of the way. Mr. Gumphrey, you shouldn't be living under a bridge. They're not safe. They're not stable. You should come and live with me. We got a real nice tunnel system. We got tunnels for the homeless now. It's a pretty good program that we're running charity-wise. It's pretty good. Bridges, all right. Bridges are problems. You know, people are always dying on those things. You know, they're unsafe. They're unsound. People are going up there to commit suicide all the time. The Golden Gate Bridge, the Brooklyn Bridge, probably. The bridges in Madison County, I imagine, has some suicides. You know, it's rough. But I also think that those people, they don't go up there with emotional problems. They get up there and they realize, hey, I'm on a bridge. This is a really crappy example of architectural woe. I wish I was in a tunnel right now. So I'm going to kill myself. I think that's what they go through. You know what I mean? Also, some bridges that suck. The bridge in Beetlejuice that killed Gina Davis and Alec Baldwin. It's a pretty shitty bridge. There's a blind spot on there. They didn't see the dog. Awesome movie, though. Awesome movie. The Mothman Prophecies. You ever seen that movie with the fucking bridge fell and all the people died because the Mothman called Richard Gere up and said, hey, this bridge is going to go down? Also, moths, you can't trust them. They're terrible people. You know, I mean, I like to be racially cool and everything, but I swear to God, if my daughter brings home a moth one Thanksgiving, I'm going to hit the roof. You know what I mean? Mothman, that's a half moth, half human kind of creature. You don't see any moth moles running around. We don't mix up with moths. They're terrible people. They're awful. They eat your clothes and they commit crimes and they run head first into your headlights. It's terrible. I can't dig tunnels sometimes because I got all these moths flying into my headlamp. You know what I mean? It's a goddamn problem. Okay, I got some more to say probably later.
I think your old Uncle Gumphrey forgot to mention. I figured out the key to immortality. Because if you eat an emaciated squirrel riddled with rabies, odds are you're going to die for a minute or two. But when you see that light at the end of that godforsaken tunnel, you just keep running backwards to your bridge. And that light won't bother you for at least another week and a half. And of course, we all know the classic song by the Beatles, Bridge Over Troubled Waters. A touching song by Ringo Starr. Now, if they wrote a song about a tunnel over troubled waters, it would just be a song about a horrifying flood with mothers and children trying to evacuate their cars before the pouring water gets into the tunnel and takes their lives. You don't want to hear that. Hell, people have no ideas about the horrors of tunnels. I was recently watching a terrifying documentary about tunnels where a terrible car accident took place and Robin Williams got hit by a flying car. It was called What Dreams May Come. I turned off the TV after that because I couldn't watch anymore. Well, the man who saw me looking through his window did because he saw me, but I didn't want to watch it anymore anyway. Lastly, I bet you heard that old superstition, hold your breath when you're going through tunnels. They say it's for good luck, but really, it's to prevent ghosts who are trying to get to the other side from flying inside your mouth. So, now don't you forget, there's an after party under the Cherry Creek Bridge, BYOB. I found a bunch of Z-Packs outside in the urgent care dumpster. So just remember, whatever you do, don't go under a tunnel on your way there, though. So help me God. Thank you, guys.
Hey. I ain't afraid to hit an old man, you know what I'm saying? Got raised rough in my house. I had to pop my old man a couple times, you know? First off, I also want to address this. Mr. Gumphrey, you are clearly mentally ill. And I think that you're all terrible people for laughing at him. That's not nice to do to senile folks. You know, they need care, they need help. My mom's in a home. You think she's funny? You want to laugh at my mother? Sorry, I get emotional when I think about that sweet old lady. Would have been nothing without her. My old man was a rough son of a bitch, man. He took me down a prairie dog hole one time when I was 6 years old and said, hey, you dig your way out. That's how I learned how to tunnel. Prick, bastard, right? But hey, made me the man I am today. That's why I tunnel hard for my kids. So they don't have to have it as rough as I did. Even if they change their names and hang out with goth kids all the time. Want to be engineers. It breaks my heart, you know? I'm sorry. It's a little rough. It's a little rough. I'm going to be okay. Gonna be okay. We talk about some phrases for a second. Burn your bridges, that's a phrase. That's not a fun phrase, talking about setting fires on an architectural structure that might have women and children on it. You think that's a good thing to say? But that's the reputation bridges got, you know what I mean? You don't hear that about tunnels. You can't burn a tunnel. Doesn't happen unless you're Sly Stallone in that crappy movie Daylight. Then you burn your whole career away for like 15 years. I stand by, it wasn't Judge Dredd that killed that man's work. It was Daylight. It's a black guy on the face of tunnel is everywhere, that movie. Demolition Man was awesome though, wasn't it? That was pretty sweet. Pretty sweet movie. Other phrases that are good. The light, Gumfrey over here, probably should be medicated, brought up the light at the end of the tunnel. That's a good phrase, man. That's a helpful thing to see. When you're dying, you go to the light like my old man did when I was 12, you know? The light at the end of the tunnel, you follow the light. There's no light at the end of the bridge. It's just more bridge and then some land probably. There's nothing cool about that. That's not awesome. You're not getting anywhere. You don't feel like you're accomplishing anything going over a bridge. That's just one piece of land, some water, another piece of land. Guess what's under the water? More land. It's bullshit unless there's a tunnel down there. Then you got something going. Another thing I want to bring up about tunnels that's pretty great, we all came out of one, you know what I mean? The birth canal, it's a tunnel, baby! Your mother's sweet, sweet tunnel gave you life. And before that, your father's sweet, sweet tunnel shot a thing down it to the light at the end of your mother's tunnel, and then there was a whole tunnel thing happening. And we all got created inside of tunnels, and then we come out and we dig tunnels, and we go to light at the end of the tunnel and we die, and there's probably more tunnels after that. It's a repeating cycle of life. And I'm proud to be a part of it, guys. Thank you so much for listening to me.
God damn. So that's how babies are made? I had no idea this entire time. There's a tunnel-based system. All right, guys. Well, if you're on the side of bridges, please put your hands together for Gumfrey, everybody. Yeah. It's all because you're afraid of them, isn't it? And if you're on the side of tunnels, let's hear it for, what was your name again? Morowski? I think tunnels won that one. Give it up for both of these guys. Especially for Gumfrey, who looks like a rapey Jerry Garcia. Really, it's like, you're fitting in really well around here, Gumfrey. We can hang out too if you guys just want to stick around for a while, just awkwardly.
Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you. And also a reminder, please exit the fucking stage if you're a performer after we're done. Slow as Gumfrey, just get off the stage, all right?